Peace, family. So I'm back with another one. Today what I wanted to do is I wanted to talk to my chosen ones about the enemy using your little ones / the younger generation against you. You know what I mean? So you may not have little ones yourself. You may have nieces, nephews, younger cousins, you know what I'm saying? Or friends that have little ones that you look after as if they're your own, you know what I mean? And these beings will be put in harm's way on the detriment of you, you know what I mean? And understanding that and knowing that it's war and we want to do the best that we can, you know, for ourselves, but to also make sure that we putting the younger generation in a better position than we were in, you know? And sometimes that requires us biting the bullet on our own bullshit and our own mistakes and our own obstacles that we took when we wasn't aware of what was going on, opposed from us knowing the difference between right and wrong now spiritually, you know. A lot of beings talk about knowing right from wrong, but it's the difference between living right and wrong, you know, and then understanding that this is like a prison cell in the Western world, so you kind of like a slave to a certain degree, so you still have to know how to move around in prison, you know, learn the rules, but then still be able to be free to a certain degree until you get to another space to where you can, you know, exit out, or y'all can do something against that structure, that system, you know what I'm saying? But I didn't want anybody to feel as if your little ones would not be in harm's way, you know. And that's something that has always and was and will always be hard for me to have to process, knowing that my little one is in harm's way, you know. I'm just glad and, you know, happy enough to know that I'm in a space to where I have been giving her the knowledge and information from a young age till now, you know, for her to be able to distinguish the witchy energy that's happening. You know, when the little ones is 5, 6, 7, 8, you know, it's they understand, but they don't know how to process it outwardly, you know what I mean? So being in that space and just being able to validate the next generation, the younger generation, of the weird witchy shit that they're experiencing, you know what I mean? And being able to put something different in place for them, you know, and substitute. Like, it will be times to where, like, if you got friends and family and it's their little ones, you may not be able to still be able to give them the knowledge and information or be able to be in their lives due to the relationship you have with the, you know, the elder. So, but it comes a little different when you have little ones with the other being, you know, that's y'all seed together, you know what I'm saying? Or y'all little one, it's my seed, but it's our little one, you know what I mean? But that's when it gets a little tricky, and you have to know that your little one is being protected by the Most High, even though they may be having a hard time or rough time, you know, and you have to be in a position where you're aware and that you're still constantly sending them energy and making sure you're building yourself in the real world, so that way you can help position them or be more present in their lives, you know what I mean? And seeing my daughter and being around her this past week with this whole new weird transition going on, and then it being their weird holy day system and stuff, like, my Minnie wasn't even ecstatic about their holiday, you know. She woke up in the other house with her mom and stuff, you know, so she got to wake up to the presents and all that shit. But when I went and picked her up later that day, because we split holidays and then we do, you know, we have our other time schedules, the 50-50 shit, split it up from the week to week, blah, blah, blah. But I go get her, and she really tired and burnt out, you know. Like, the first thing she blurts out, you know, is kind of like, oh, mommy's a liar, you know, and like all this other stuff, which really wasn't a lot of stuff, but I can tell she compiled it into the fewest words that she can possibly come up with. And the thing is with my Minnie, every time she sees me or I'm in the same presence as her mom, which isn't often, but when we are, I can feel how much strength she's getting from me to be able to use her throat chakra. So it doesn't matter, like, Because she always tell me all the time that, oh, daddy, like, they make me lie over here in this house, but I know that I'm just doing it just to blend in, but I tell the truth and I'm honest over here. And it's like, that hurts in itself, you know what I mean? Knowing that she is in a position where she feels as if she has to lie. And I've been trying to get her better at being more honest, but I don't want to have her position to where she don't even know how to blend or mesh herself now, and I haven't pulled her fully out of the situation. You know what I mean? So it's like, when she comes around and that's the first thing she says and says like, daddy, I wanna just live with you forever, or you always got the best energy, daddy, like you pick my spirit up, my energy up. When she just comes around saying these things, you know what I mean? It's just like, I know that I've been doing my part for my team as far as how I'm supposed to be giving this information to her. Now, I know that I could be doing better and doing more, and I'm fighting my own battles and obstacles in the same time, you know what I'm saying? And then still learning, you know, fully standing into my masculine male, so, and divine. So it's all a process in one. But hearing how she communicates through this process, it just goes to show how much this is helpful, just being able to validate them and be able to have the knowledge and information to feed them when they're in that process. So it's no different than if I was communicating that with my nephew, or if y'all was communicating that with, you know, some little ones that you was taking care of or helping raise, you know, throughout the times or whatever. You know what I mean? Because we all are looking for a source. We all looking for a family. We all looking for something to make sense. Even the little ones know that a lot of this shit don't make sense. So if you're one being in their life that knows how to make sense out of this witchy ass shit out here, you will be a huge tool in that little being's life, you know what I mean? And even if you don't get to be there forever, that knowledge and information that they do remember sits with them. You don't know what sticks with them. You just have to know that something is gonna stick because it's heavy shit. So it's like, that's the best way to be light about it too, you know what I'm saying? So like, but it's nothing light about hearing or seeing little ones in that space, and then it's not a whole lot you can do right then at that moment, you know what I mean? Because this is the system, the structure, you got all this weird witchy stuff in place, you know what I'm saying? So you have to learn how to focus your energy and understand we spiritual beings, so we work from within outwardly. So even if you do shed a couple tears or you break down a couple times, you just have to know that they need your strength just as much as you need your strength. You know what I mean? So, and that was like one of the hardest things I had to realize when I was going through my own little phase and I was having my own little moment when it was being processed. Because the witches, they do little shit like, will call you, will say, oh, your daughter wants to talk to you, can she call you? But the daughter goes and calls, but it's the mom whose face there, but I hear my daughter in the background like, oh, I want him to see my face. Then they get mad and unresponsive because it's like, you want me to say that I love you. You got my daughter to say, oh, honey, tell daddy that I love him, and I don't say it back because I don't give a fuck about giving that energy back. And I got enough on my plate due to us not working as a team now, motherfucker. So no, I don't want to say it back. So then takes the phone from the mini and be like, oh, my man was like, oh, I could get off the phone now, daddy, I love you. And she take the phone like, yeah, well, you have fun with your such and such, and you're such and such, and you're doing your such and such, and then just hung up the phone. It was like, yo, you just showing how evil you are in front of our daughter. Like, my daughter literally was on the phone telling me she was crying last night because she missed me. Like, she really don't enjoy that space over there. Like, she understands. She know the difference between this side and that side. Like, she knows the energy that she gets when she with daddy. You know what I'm saying? So, just knowing the process of it all. Like, and it's some that's in a worse situation than me that don't even get this much, you know, access to their little ones, you know what I'm saying? Outside of the calls, because that's not often, that just randomly happens, but I get my physical time that is not denied, so I don't have to worry about that phone call shit. That shit was just something extra, you know. If my mini need my energy, I want to give it to her, so It's just I know she's not allowed that benefit right now because of the stage she in. But just even seeing some of my other peers and just how their little ones are being programmed to be robots and to be submissive and to just be cooperative sheep, like, it becomes kind of saddening to a certain degree, you know what I'm saying? Especially when I see, like, it's one thing seeing, like, little beings who are normal size, meaning fit, and they're just in zombie mode, eating all the junks and doing all the weird stuff that, you know, that we're all programmed to do. You know what I mean? And then you see the super unhealthy one that's just super big, that it's like, I want to go take your parents and I want to shake all the fat off of them because it's their fault you look like this. And my spirit is feeling this guilty for having to look at you this way. It's like we should all be doing better. We should all be doing better. So that's why one hand helps the other hand. That's why we all supposed to be here in support of each other. Like, that's a process in itself. And just even saying that, like, the little man or the little girl is paying because of their parents just dropping the shit off to them. Just dropping it off to them. Like, it's and then the parents will try to make the little one work out or do something that's like extracurriculum. Like, how about you do your job as a parent and stop feeding them? Stop feeding them. Give them little portions. Give them little rabbit food. Give them some shit that you know they're still getting their nutrients, and who gives a fuck if they go to bed every night mad. Like, you have to do something to change up the routine, the process, and the flow. You know what I mean? Because at the end of the day, we're important, but it's more so about this next generation. You know what I mean? So that's why on a percentage scale, they are higher up than us on value and importance, and it's okay to have them fucking higher than us. Like, we gotta step up and do our role and our part, and understand that the opposition will use everything against you, you know what I'm saying? And they will use the little ones against you. I know a bunch of people that's paying for it now that has some evil witchy women, and they don't get no access, and they on child support. Like, I'm not even on child support. And then I know some witchy ass men who just disappeared. You know what I'm saying? With men, it ain't like we're just gonna take over unless it's like I'm extremely on the great team, so I would love to take full custody of my daughter and do, you know, just do what I'm supposed to be doing. But then you got the witchy men who will take custody of their child just to be spiteful to the mom or the female, you know what I'm saying? So, but most of the time it's easy for the witchy men to just disappear and get out the way, you know what I'm saying? But then you got beings like me and others that want to be there, and you have to fight. All our life we had to fight, you know what I mean? So even having the little breakdown moments and going through shit, you know what I'm saying? You just know that, like, we have to be strong for them. We have to be strong for them, you know what I'm saying? So even for the little ones that we don't know, when I go to the park and I see little beings running around, I'm still helping, giving them energy if they need to. Most of the time when I go to the park, all the little people migrate towards my daughter, and they all migrate towards me. So it's always usually a weird process with that. And it's crazy because I'm in like a white area, so all these white parents be looking at me and they just be like, I didn't tell your little people to come over here. Like, they all just came over here. They felt the vibes and the energy. I don't know what to tell you. You better come say hi. Peace and love. But nah, I ain't want to run it up too long, you know what I'm saying? The enemy will use the little ones against you. So be mindful and be prepared, and make sure you lining them up with the proper tools that they need spiritually. You know what I mean? My daughter said the meditation wasn't working when she was crying at night and she wanted me and I wasn't there, you know what I'm saying? So I have to do some more deep diving to come up with something else to help her in the process, to know that I'm still giving and sending her energy and some tactics that will help her in the process when we're not in each other's physical presence, because we're not always going to be there. So this is a battle that me and her both wear, and she's 7 and we're taking it on together now, and I'm going to step up and continue to elevate my part, you know what I mean? All of us are. We all are. That's what we do. We fight. You know what I'm saying? Tapping everything down below. Peace and love to the kings and queens.